everybody, thanks for joining us on this hot afternoon. I'm presuming you've been melting in schools today. I'm Mark Heslop, I'm the A-Level Maths subject partner at Pearson, but if you're not a maths teacher on here, then the rest of this is perfectly applicable to you. We decided to run a couple of these sessions this year because with a couple of years worth of the pandemic and not having effectively live exams, people have raised a lot of queries about how to remember to use Results Plus and that kind of thing. So this is basically a refresher. So this first bit of it is a bit of a blurb about Results Plus and how to get it on in the first place. And the best way to do it is to go see, well, some people say it's the most important person in your school, but some people say it's the second most important person in the school that you need to go to get access. It's not the head teacher, by the way. So who do you need to go to get access to Results Plus? Well, it's the exams officer. So if you don't already have an Edexcel Online account, and it's the EOL account, that is key. If you're already using Exam Wizard, you will have an Edexcel Online account. You need that before you can access Exam Wizard. So basically, if you've got Exam Wizard, you're good to go. If you don't have an Edexcel Online account, the chances are you're not using Exam Wizard. And Exam Wizard is the free database of all the questions that you can use to put tests together for yourself. So yeah, go see your exams officer. I did have this chat once with a group of teachers and said, go see the most important person in your school. And they went, what, the person who's manning reprographics on that particular day? Because let's face it, they are probably the most important person in the school when things have gone slightly wrong and you need something copying quick. So, purpose of this session, we're going to go through the basics. We're going to talk about how you can use this to analyze your summer results. But there's something else in there that I'm going to demonstrate that a lot of people don't realize that Results Plus could do. And this is really important at this time of the year. You can upload your internal mock exam results into Results Plus for analysis against global data. You can only do this for live exam papers or any of our mock papers. You can do it for the sample assessment materials as well. So if you're doing internal tests at this time of the year, just think, especially with year 12s as they're coming to the end of year 12 and can do complete AS level papers, you can upload them in. Equally, if you're doing a paper that maybe you've chopped a couple of questions out, you can still upload that into Results Plus. You'll just have blanks for those questions. What you can't do is mix and match questions and then upload it and have it analyze them. I'd love to see that. We are pushing for that. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to demonstrate how you upload your results in. So what is Results Plus? Online tool. Why should you use it? Detailed analysis of your learner's performance. Identify potential topics, skills, types of questions where students may need to develop their learning further. See actual scores for each exam question for a student, class or group. Understand how your student's performance compares with class and Pearson Edexcel national averages. And acquire data that may support effective teaching and learning. And then departmental training. So I'm an ex-head of department, and I've got to say that when it came to the end of the summer, this was my go-to starting point to have a look at for the departmental strengths. Yeah, we did really well on this compared to the national average. And development points. Okay, we didn't do so well on these. But what I am going to talk to you about is how you can split your cohort of your live exam results into groups and say, that teacher over there did really well on that topic and the rest of us binned it. What's that teacher doing that we're not? So it's about helping you share good practice. So you need Results Plus, and there it is. Go see your exams officer. And once you've set up with a username and password, it will get emailed to you. It's only a couple of minute job, 5-minute job for the exams officer to go and get you set up with an Edexcel Online account. So this is what Results Plus looks like. And I'm going to do a bit of a live demo in a minute where we can actually play with a few things. So we've got Results Plus. So this is where you would go into to look at your live exam data. You've got Mock Analysis Service, which is where you would be uploading mock results. And also if you use our mock marking service where we mark the papers for you, that's where the results get loaded up into. Global Results Analysis, that's where you can just see the whole Edexcel cohort without it being compared to anything. And I'll be demonstrating a lot of the features on the Global Results Analysis because we have a dummy site set up. It's quite difficult to get a whole cohort results into it. Or you can create and edit your sort of class groups. When you go into Results Plus Analysis, you then get a few different options. So we can go individual student results. We've got group results if you've set groups up. You've got whole cohort results, and then you can also download the results as well. Oh, lots of little boxes appearing on the screen. But let's have a look at cohort results. So once you go into cohort results, you can actually select papers. You can select a year, you can select a qualification, so your actual relevant cohort, and it will actually give you a nice little chart where you can see the distribution of your grades compared to the whole Edexcel cohort. So this is June 2019, the last live full exam series for which we have results. The exams are being marked at the moment, and some of you may well be the examiners and knee-deep in EPEN statistics and the system. So what you can then do is you can actually go and compare grades, for instance, of different year groups, and you can drill down. We actually then have in here a separate section where can do some analysis, highlights reports, and these are the same for when you've got the overall cohort results, everyone who did it with Edexcel, your school overall results, or if you're uploading mock results. This is all the same. So there's another way you can download the exams documents as opposed to the Maths Emporium or the main Pearson website. So we've got the analysis, and effectively we have on here the score. So it breaks it down. What was the average mark out of how many? So students here scored 88% of the marks. Here the average was 3.02 out of 4. And then you've got comparing it to the Edexcel average. As a maths teacher, I don't like this term, variance. That's not variance. However, it's effectively the difference between what your students got and what the Edexcel students got expressed as a percentage. So this one here, they were 4.69% higher than the actual overall Edexcel cohort. And you can drill down further into the actual skills themselves. So let's go into the highlight reports. This is really useful as a starting point as a head of department. Your department wants to know how they've done, but it's always really nice to know, okay, right guys, this is where we absolutely nailed it. It's always that thing like when we're giving feedback to students, isn't it? We give them the development points and the what went well. Or as they try and write it down as what I did bad at. But hey ho. So this is a really useful one, the skills map. So once we're on the skills map, what we can actually see there is the GCSE skills, so number, algebra, ratio, and proportion. It's actually broken down a little bit more than kind of the 4 main broad topics that we have. And you've got your census score, the Edexcel average, and then, again, the difference. But then what we can also do is then, if we click on any of these, we can actually drill down. So if we drill down into the number, we can start to get into the real nuggets. And you can do this at a class level. You can do this at a student level as well. You can then actually really, really drill down and find out what the strengths and weaknesses are, and is there anything that we need to worry about? Was it a factor of the way it's being taught in the school? Was it a factor of some of the prerequisite learnings that we need to fix down in Key Stage 3? Or was it just, on this question, it just flunked the pupils out? So here you can see my dummy center. And we've got the Results Plus, we've got the Mock Analysis Service, we've got the Global Results Analysis Service. And if you were part of I think quite senior in a multi-academy trust, you'd have math analysis in there. So this is where we can actually go in like we did just then. If I go into the top one, we haven't got any live results in there for students. So this is where effectively we can then start to select. Let's go for June 19. So you can actually do it by various reasons, but I can select Edexcel only. I can select it here, so I can do a grades analysis, and it will ask me to select the award. So we want to go down here to 1MA1 Maths. There we go. I probably see a lot more than you do. And we can actually compare the grades. And I can do various comparisons of sessions. I can compare with the other years as well. But this is where we can actually look at in a bit more detail of what's going on in there. The nice thing, I like this, 9 to 7, 16%, 9 to 4, 60%. So that's effectively the grade report. I'm going to go back. And what I want to do now is go into the mock analysis. So the way it works is I can actually upload via the mock analysis service a cohort of students. We can create or edit groups for students, but actually when we import results into the mock analysis service, that creates the students as well. But I will show you this. So I can actually see groups created by me. You can filter. There we go. And I've actually already got some groups here. So here's the pain point, ladies and gentlemen. You could, as a department for a mock exam, upload the results of all the students in one go. And then you could put them into groups. You could actually upload them separately and it will ask you what group you want to put them into. But the pain point is on the live exams, somebody has to go through and break them down into their class groups. I'm sorry, there's no way around it at the moment in time. There hopefully will be at some point in the future. But that's the pain point. So it's kind of a task before the summer to actually get your departments, if you're a head of department, one more task before the summer, guys. Get them to actually create their groups in here so you can then compare them. And it is a bit of a pain. But this is where I could create new groups and then I could import students into it. So let's go back and look at how we upload into it. So we've got the mock analysis service. So this is where I'm talking about is relevant for you now doing your mock exams and wanting to upload students in there. So we can create new students accounts, but actually when we import students into the system, it automatically does that for us as well. We can view mock results analysis. So let's have a quick look at that. And it looks exactly the same pretty much as what it would do for an entire cohort. So I'm going to look at group results. I'm going to find me. And then I've created some groups here already. And I can look at group results analysis when I've imported their results in. And I'll show you that as the final stage, because it's kind of the most important. So we've got in here, we've got some results in for GCSE maths. So we could actually filter them, but it's actually giving them here. Let's have a look at this paper analysis. These are made up names. Other made up names are available. I feel like I should do a disclaimer. And here we go. So here's my students. I've only got a couple of them in that group where I've uploaded the results. And we can do a student analysis. So this is this students mark, so we can see exactly how they did on each of theirs. If I've got some other papers in, it might actually allow me to upload, but I can't remember whether I uploaded them in for the student. Oh yeah, there's paper 2. And there's paper 3. They did very well on paper 3, as I was typing in ones a lot on that one and zeros on the other papers. So we can actually see how they did in relation to the Edexcel average. And here's the nice bit. Right, what skill is being tested? Really nice way to do it. So we can do analysis of these. So that was the overview. What I'm going to do, while that's having a think, I'll come back to that in a second. We'll demonstrate the bulk import. So here we are again. So if I want to upload my results into it, I can find past papers and manage student mock marks. So I'm going to select that one. And as if by magic, it asks us to find a paper. So effectively what we need to do is select the paper first that we're going to upload the results for. I'm going to go GCSE, mock papers, past papers, sample assessment material, specimen papers. I need to effectively choose that past paper first of all, so it knows what template to use. And I think I chose for this one, November 20. Now what I need to do is come down here to my maths, and I can select November 2020. And then what I'm going to do is, you can actually already download straight from here the mark scheme and the exam paper. But what I'm going to do is do a bulk import, which is, let's face it, the easiest way. Right, here's my best advice to you. We can download a bulk import for this. And if you're a head of department trying to get a whole cohort in, you can put this on your shared area and have your teachers bang the marks into it, drop them in from their own spreadsheets. Fantastic. The format of this sheet does need to be quite carefully managed. If you mess with something, it will mess it up. So here's my best advice to you as an ex-head of department. By all means, have one on your shared area for everyone to bang their results into. Just before you go and upload your results into this, and I'll show you what one looks like. There we go. My best advice is to copy all these results off your shared area, download a nice, fresh, clean copy from that little window we've just had, and paste the results in there just before you upload it. It's the best way to do it. It avoids any of these things up at the top getting accidentally tweaked, blah, 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 blah. So that's the best way to do it. Once you've uploaded the results in, so we can drag and drop the file in there and it will upload them. If someone's accidentally put in 5 marks and it was only 3 marks for a question, it will actually flag that up as an error. So you can go and tweak that one. I don't know what it's like for you, all you out there, but when it came to adding up mock exam paper marks, that was always my Achilles heel. The first thing I'd say to the students was, right guys, check my adding up. Oh, you sir, you've missed off 3 marks, or you've given me 5 marks instead of 3. Maybe you need to readjust things and maybe you need to re-upload. you can just adjust the student's individual mark. If they come back like a week later and say, I think this has been marked wrong, you know what? Just tweak it in that master spreadsheet and re-upload the whole thing again. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference. It will be absolutely fine. So that's effectively uploading a bunch of student names and their results. And now what we can do is either look at them as a whole group of kids, or maybe we want to break it down into actual teacher classes. So I'm going to go to the home again. What we need to do is go back into the main menu, is create or edit a group. So I'm going to go into one of my groups. You don't need to do this if you're not breaking them down into individual classes. So I've got my groups here that I've maybe had already created, and I can show you one of those. So effectively, already imported these, I can get rid of Misty. And what we can do is then we need to select effectively the mock paper that I've effectively just done, and it will then pull in the names of those students that have got results against that paper. Select unit, I think I did that one, find students, and it will probably only find Misty. So the students pop up there on the left-hand side. When I've uploaded, you can have up to 200 students in a group. Once you've imported them, you pick them up here, the paper, and you can add them into each individual group, and then I can save that group. I don't need to do that. And then we can actually go back into the mock analysis, and that's where we'd actually get the highlight report, the analysis. So this is where, for that mock paper, my MCH Test 3, this is where I can do a highlight report of that cohort of students that have done a mock paper, just like I could for the live exam. We can actually go top 10 skills. We can go bottom 10 skills to improve. Look, they've been very careful on their wording, people. Top 10 questions to celebrate. So it's broken down by the skills as well as the questions. Top 10 to improve. And then we could go into, say, the skills map and start to drill down onto their results, just like you could do for the live exams. The only difference is the live exam results are going to be uploaded into your system. You will have to create the actual groups themselves. This is the skills from those results that I have uploaded into Results Plus. You get the same level analysis that you do on a live exam. Because we can upload our mock papers into here, what you won't get is a grades analysis if you're uploading a mock paper. And by that, I mean one of the official mocks that we produce. So the new AS level maths mock was just put on the input in this week. And a lot of centres in that case there use historical grade boundaries, which one of the things our examiners try and aim for is that things are consistent year on year, consistent difficulty of papers, so the grade boundaries are going to be consistent. And a lot of centres, if they wanted to use the new AS level maths mock, will use kind of a combination of variation of past exam papers. And then you've got the exams documents at the end. So one thing to mention is that we actually have a mock marking service. So if you're planning for your mocks in the autumn, we have GCSE maths and A-level maths, and now for this summer, for the first time, AS level maths, where you can actually pay, I think it's about £6 for a paper for A-level, something in that order. If you're interested in the mock marking service, just put a note in the feedback at the end. Effectively, you choose which paper you want to do as a mock. We will send you the papers, your students sit them in your school in exam conditions, and then effectively that gets sent back to us and passed back to our examiners, and it's marked by the full exam marking system, and then the results are uploaded into Results Plus. So what some centres do is they will have 3 papers worth marked by us. Some centres will use it for a bit of internal benchmarking, so they might get, say for a paper, half marked by their internal teachers and half marked by the external examiners, and then benchmark the markings for the consistency. Or a lot of centres are using it to just ease the load, because it's, let's face it, it's just been a bit rubbish for the past couple of years. It's been quite hard work. So some centres are, maybe getting papers 2 and 3 marked by us and 1 marked internally. And then you get the results uploaded back into Results Plus. So it's provided for GCSE and A-level exams, and as I say, for the first time, AS level maths this summer. Sat by students and marked by the examiners. Builds confidence, so you get Pearson examiner marking, providing consistency of marking across the full cohort. Papers are marked by the examiners to get rid of any unconscious bias. I always used to try and, when I was marking a paper, fold the cover over so I didn't know who it was. Sometimes you can tell by the handwriting though, can't you? You get the item level analysis provided automatically. detailed results plus analysis, support teachers in identifying gaps in knowledge, and you got subject-specific post-result support to help with raising achievement and attainment. What level of access from Alexandra does the exams officer need to give you? Basic access to Results Plus. There's not that many levels of access in edXL Online. It's like teacher, they can put you in as a head of department, doesn't get you anything extra, just looks nice. And then it's like head of center and exams officer. So they'll know what to do. Do we have to register students before we can see any menus? That's from Maria. When the results go live this summer, your results automatically get uploaded into Results Plus. How soon is the data available to use following results date? It's there pretty much straight away, although I do know this year is going to be a very busy season, so I'd enjoy a couple of days worth of extra holiday before you start digging too deep into this. Celebrate the results. Does the exams officer need to set up our account? Yep, it's kind of the security check, and it's what we use on the Emporium these days, that we want to make sure, for instance, only teachers are accessing the Maths Emporium. So one of the checks that we do is that, and it says it all over it when you're trying to apply, you must have an edXL Online account before you apply for the Maths Emporium. Why? Because only teachers can get an edXL Online account. There's quite big GDPR issues surrounding this one. If anyone from outside of school got access to edXL Online, and I would say to your for you to pass to your exams officers that you do need to get your exams officers to clean out edXL Online accounts of people that have left your centre. They can't do anything. They can't mess with things. They can maybe delete groups as a standard thing. We cut them off IT systems when they leave a centre. They could still log into Results Plus. If you are interested in that at all, there is all the various links that you would need from today's session. So the Results Plus login page, support page, post-results mock service. See you all soon and stay safe. Bye now.